I'm just making sure that it actually is recording. Okay, so moving on to the agenda, we have a few things that we're going to go over with you guys. And I'll put this when I finish, I'll drop this in the chat also. So of course we want you to sign in. Then the next thing we're going to do is talk about a portrait of a graduate. That's you. That's Dr. Horton's vision for you and ours as well. And as well as I'm going to talk about a few people who are going to be supporting you. The purpose of this meeting is because you all, for all intents and purposes, are you're coming right around to the third inning, third quarter. You're almost there. So for all intents and purposes, within the next few days, you all are going to be juniors. I'm sorry, seniors. So what's going to happen is are a few things. We want to make sure that you are aware of what we've been doing, what we're going to do in terms of not only your classes for next year, but your post-secondary planning. So one of the things that I think is kind of cool, and I have it up here, is what Dr. Horton is referring to as a portrait of a graduate. Overall, you may have heard us on the announcements. You've seen that we've had award ceremony. Some of you participated in it. You've heard of this juniors, not the juniors, the sophomores they have an upcoming half cap ceremony. All of those things with all of you guys those are some of the things that are supposed to help you to develop into what we call a portrait of a graduate. A graduate, according to the DeKalb County School District, should have a double-fisted plan. In one hand, you should have your diploma. In the other hand, you should have your plan. And if you look on, I know while you're signing in, one of the questions on there asks you, you'll notice that some of the questions are asking you about your plans right now. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to enroll in college? Do you want to enlist in the military? Do you want to become an entrepreneurship, or are you going straight into a job? You may or may not know that, but it's just that real for you guys right now. That's why we want you to know that we're ready to get this party started now. So with that being the case, we just want to make sure and zoom in to make sure that you understand who your support system is. So DeKalb County School District employs a lot of people have jobs to help you all not just get ready academically, because that's, your team consists, of course, of you, your parents, your friends, your teachers, your coaches, your mentors. But on our side, the post-planning side consists of your counselors. If you've been here, you know this is a review. I'm Dr. Cox. I'm your counselor if your last names are A through E. Miss Drayton is F through M, and Miss Harris is N through Z. So we're primarily your counselors. We're the people who are behind the scenes, of course, working on your schedules, your social emotional learning support, your career support, changing your schedules, working with you to make sure you make up your classes, etc. And we'll get into all of that later on. Another person in our building that's deployed by DeKalb is Miss Battle. I don't know if you all have had the privilege of being taught by Miss Battle. I don't know how long she's been going at this point, but you'll hear a lot from Miss Battle. She also helps us. And then, of course, just like the counselors work on scholarships, college fairs, field trips, things of that nature, she does some of the same thing, and she goes into more depth with that as well. She'll hold all kinds of scholarship sessions. For example, some of you were a part of the posse session. We're going to have another one of those. So Ms. Battle does those kinds of things. A lot of the DeKalb, like I said, the college fairs, the career fairs, etc., those come from the office that Ms. Battle works out of. Another initiative or another group of people that will be working with you guys, or this is a new position that started this year and we're very excited about it, are the senior advisor liaisons. This year we have Dr. Gardner, Ms. Wilson, and Mr. Bailey, and they've been amazing with our kids. In that survey, you heard it ask you about what 4 E's. It asks you what it is that you want to do. What are your plans after high school? Enrollment, enlistment, employment, entrepreneurship. Those are the superintendent's 4 E's. So when you're working with first next year, you'll have a senior conference, which will be face to face. That's with your counselor first. Then, of course, you'll meet with these people as well. Sometimes you'll meet with one of us before the other, but know that your senior conference, you definitely have to have with your counselor. Also, what they'll be doing is, in addition to us, helping you with college applications, job applications. If you want to take the ASVAB, if you need help setting up your businesses, again, those what the 4 E's are. And then, of course, another group that partners with DeKalb, they are employed by DeKalb. They're an outside agency that partners with DeKalb as well. That's College Aim. We've had the amazing good fortune and blessing to have Miss Amy, and I remember Miss Harris named her College Amy, and it kind of stuck. So Miss Amy is unfortunately leaving us. She has another opportunity, but she promises she'll still be able to serve our students in some ways. But we will have another person from College Aim, and we're really sure we're excited about that person too, because they'll carry on the mission of College Aim. Their goal is just what they say. The aim is college. Their organization has the good fortune, and we're very excited to be able to focus solely on college admissions, scholarships. They have budgets to take you guys on college trips over the summer. You'll hear about that. Some of you guys may have heard, I've been invited already, but those are the kinds of things they do. So I just wanted to talk to you about the support system. Okay. So Miss Drayton is on here, and I was going to ask Miss if there are any questions or if there's anything that you need me to, when I'm talking about teachers, please stop me, because I do see like a something in the chat, but I'm not able to see what's in the chat, Miss Drayton. So I might need you to just address the chat. Okay. The next thing on the agenda is the program of study. Again, this is just a review. I want to remind you guys that we're not just, rolling around in the dark doing things. We're very strategic because the DeKalb County School District gives us definites for what it is that you're supposed to be able to, what you're supposed to have in terms of graduation. So this form should look very familiar to you guys. Most of you remember it from 8th grade. We go over it with you several times a year. This is the program of study for DeKalb County School Districts. It basically tells you that no matter what your diploma type is, and most of you guys are college prep honors, etc., you must have 24 credits to graduate. Those credits must consist of 4 years of English, 4 years of math, 4 years of science, 4 years of social studies, 2 years of health and a year of personal fitness and health, and a second PE. The next thing is you must have 2 years, 2 credits of the same world language, and you must complete a pathway, either in humanities, which would be like chorus, drama, art, band, orchestra, one of those, or in a technical area such as audiovisual, NGROTC, early childhood, intro to business, entrepreneurship, computer programming, etc., are the ones you complete at DeKalb High School Technology North and South. So those are some of the things just to remind you. So some students will say, I have 24 credits already. Yes, you do, but your 24 credits do not consist of this. So you could technically have 30 credits, but if it does not consist of these requirements, then of course you haven't done everything you need for graduation. So that's what we're working on. Okay, the next part, any questions? Well, the next part of that is just a reminder, because we're coming to this point. So, of course, there's a lot of excitement, like I said, around half cap. A lot of the students, we talked to them about this at the beginning, and they took it, most took it very seriously. We have over 200 students who qualify. But we have a good bit that do not. And now they're like, well, but you don't have the credits. So when we say you have to have the credits in order to be promoted, that really is a thing. So for you guys, in order to be promoted to senior, that means in order for DeKalb County School District, what's going to happen is the teachers are going to post the grades. Then I'm going to go in and say promote, retain. We have to do that. So in order for you to be promoted to a senior come um, August of the 25-26 school year, you have to have 18 credits. And there must be at least nine core, 9 elective. Going back to the program of study, your core is going to always be English, math, science, social studies, and world language, actually. Those are core. So you must have a combination of 9 of those in order to go to the 12th grade, and you must have at least 9 electives. So that's what we'll be looking for, and we'll talk about makeup, etc. later on. Okay. So I'm moving fast, but I'll go ahead and just, it won't let me. So the next thing I'll do is I'm going to go over the junior class advisement sheet. Now, all of you guys are going to receive one of these. At some point next week, what we're going to be doing are 2 things. Some of you will be taking, well, some of you will be taking the EOC, but when you're not taking the EOC, beginning Monday, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be calling you guys out. We're going to do like 30 at a time. And I'll have 10, Miss Drayton will have 10, Miss Harris will have 10, and we'll meet with you guys individually. While we're meeting with you individually, we're going to ask that you work on your Naviance task. This won't be a long meeting because we need to try to get to as many of you as possible. But these are the things we're going to be going over with you. On this form, all of you will have this. That'll have your name, your ID, the date, your diploma type, your current GPA, your credits earned so far, and the ones you need. That's what the council will tell you. Then, of course, we'll go over the graduation requirement. I just did that. That's what I'm not going to do that again. Just told you that about the credits you need. Also, this is a reminder of the milestones test you need. Most of you will be finished with that this year. Remediation opportunities. We'll talk to you about that as well. Actually, some of you guys, we've already started talking to you about this, but in terms of makeup, as far as I know, Stone Mountain High School does not have summer school. DeKalb has summer school for certain classes, but if this is your first time taking one of those classes, then of course that will be flex school or whatever they're calling, Flex Academy. If you've taken the class already and you qualify for credit recovery, then that would be Flex Restore. But that's going to be on a one-on-one basis that we talk to you about. There's also Georgia Virtual School where your parents pay. So let's just say if you need a class and DeKalb doesn't offer it, your parents could pay for it. That's $500. If they choose to, if they choose not to, then of course that may not determine whether or not you be on track to graduate next year. So again, we'll be meeting with you, but it's also important just in case. So just know we're always busy because there are 3 of us and each of us have like almost 300 to 400 kids. So of course we're always busy, but if just in case you're wondering whether or not you have to take a class for summer school or something like that, you could always visit one of us during the lunch waves, even if you can't talk to your specific counselors, because we do rotate duty sometimes so we can do specific things. Then you can still meet with a counselor. We could all look up your stuff, and if you just have a specific question, like if I'm working with Ms. Drayton's student and if I get confused about whatever or I'm wondering, then I'll just ask Ms. Drayton. So you'll still get help. There's also during the school year, sometimes we'll use Georgia Virtual Credit Recovery. This is a free service, but it's not free this summer. We're not using it because it needs someone to monitor it, and we'll all be gone and we won't be able to monitor you. So that's not an option for you either. The summer option is Flex, which is free for DeKalb County School District students if you have a certain grade or if you're taking it for the first time and they offer it. And then there's also Georgia Virtual School. Like I said, that's $500 a class. So, but as far as summer school at Snow Mountain, I'm not aware of us having summer school at Snow Mountain. If something changed, we let you know. But if you have questions about Flex, or you know that you think you need to make something up, you need to come and let us know. The other thing that we'll be doing with you all, when we meet with you, we'll be going over your classes for next year. So some of you all may have noticed if you go into Infinite Campus, I can't pull you up without showing you someone's information, so I won't do it. But some of you may have noticed that there are certain classes planned for you for next year. So we'll be going over that with you as well and making adjustments. You will, just so you know, if you don't get it before, well, we plan to do it before you leave for the break, summer break. But just in case you don't, we will be sending out a schedule change link over the summer because we're trying very hard not to have to go into the school year changing schedules for like 4 weeks. We're really trying to get that done within the first 10 days of school. So we're going to give you the opportunity to go ahead and look and see if you want to make changes. If you want work-based learning, or if you want to sign up for DeKalb High School of Technology, North or South, I'm going to put that up actually for work-based learning. You just may have to email us because we don't have Dr. Mills sign up. But as far as North or South, I'm going to put that on the screen for you when we finish this, so that just in case you're still interested in DeKalb High School of Technology, North or South, you can do that. Okay. A few other things that you should be doing right now, in terms of post-secondary planning, these are helpful links. You should begin looking at colleges and careers of interest. How do you do that? I'm glad you asked. On your Naviance platform, you have a list of required 11th grade tasks. I know you've been hearing about Navient since you were like at this point, you guys were probably like well, maybe not during the pandemic, at least fifth, sixth grade. Definitely in middle school, you've done Career Explorer, all of those things. So now, in your junior year, there are certain tasks that you are expected to complete in Naviance, and I'm going to go to a sample student. I hope it's still working. It probably popped off at this point. Okay, I'm going to try to see if it'll let me do a sample student. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing just for a second so I can pull up a student without showing their information. So you won't see it because it's not letting me do sample student. But in Naviance, what you should be doing right now is you should be, let me go to it. What did I say? Class of 2026. That is you. Okay, I'm going to share again. Okay, so when you log into Naviance, for those of you who are new, the way you log into Naviance, of course, is through Clever. I hope this is still working. And when you do, it may not work, guys, but I still have the posters up that I can show you. But when you go into Naviance, in order to find out what it is that you're supposed to be doing, you go to Planner, Task. Oh, it works. And then you'll go to Task Assigned to Me. So it'll have different things that'll say recommended, and then they'll have some that say required. For example, as a junior, you should be completing your Supermatch college search. You should be completing the Workforce Development Initiative survey, and you should be adding colleges to your list. And of course, learning about dual enrollment options. There's also something called the 11th grade IGP. That's something we're gonna check. I think I did that for all of you guys. So if it says require, that is a part of what you have to do in order to check out. If it's not done this year, then of course, we're going to be looking for it next year, but don't wait until next year. The purpose of us doing all of this is it literally, all of these, the average one of these things takes about 2 minutes, 5 minutes to complete. For example, it won't let me go and start it because this is a specific student, but it does tell me, I can tell you what to do. For example, it says Students, please follow these directions. Go to the Navigant's homepage, select Planner from the top of the page, click Curriculum. Complete this lesson, College Super Match, in the College Planning section. This lesson will prompt you to go to Supermatch and Navigants and complete a college search. It's a very simple thing. So what it tells you to do is it tells you to go to the top of the page, go to Planner, which is here, click on, click Planner from the top of the page, and then click Curriculum. I may be in the wrong thing, but it'll work for you. Don't worry about that. It'll work for you. It's just not working for me. Because I've seen students, a lot of you have actually already done that. So thank you. So again, Planner, task assigned to me will be here for you as a junior. And just in case you just want a snippet of what those should be, what that looks like, we actually have the posters. We have the list of tasks for you here as well. For juniors, you have 5. Supermatch college search, add colleges to my list, workforce development survey, individual graduation plan, which is something we did for you when we put in your course request for next year. Learn about dual enrollment. Okay, so that's the 5 that you have to do. Technically 4. 1 we've done for you. Okay, so moving right along, the advisement form, what else did I say? I was going to do. Okay. A few other things that we wanted to talk to you guys about. Well, let me go back to that sheet. Let me just go back to this advisement sheet. Is something that you should be doing. It's totally free. Sign up for Big Future scholarship giveaways. You'll get this in your email today. So if you have not done it already, you should, because again, they'll be talking. This is Big Future is a site put on by College Board, who is in charge of responsible for the SAT. That's the SAT company. When you sign up for Big Future, they literally do whole raffles, and they raffle off 6,000 scholarship programs. No, not that one, but they actually just raffle off scholarship money just randomly to students all over. And students do win. I don't know anybody personally that have won, but you won't win if you don't try. And from Big Future, you'll get all kinds of things. You can explore the site. It tells you how to plan for college, etc. All of those things. Some of the stuff, most of which you'll find in Navigants, but this is another way of looking at it. Okay. So make sure you sign up for Big Future. Another thing that you should be doing, of course, is, and you'll get this as well, looking at, and this is very good for you to look at over the summer, to start now. You'll see this again, but again, like I said, this will come to you in your email. I wanted to go over with you first. College Planning 12. Want to know if you're on track for your college application process? This checklist shows you what you should be doing and when. When you complete steps marked with blah, with the asterisk, you may be eligible for College Board Opportunity Scholarships. So in the fall, this is telling you what you should be doing in the fall, but at least strengthen your college list, create a master list, ask your counselor to help you with fee waivers. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. Improve your score, because most of you took the SAT during the day. So you will be getting your score if you have not logged into College Board. I think they came out yesterday, because I think I got the big file. Be sure your scores are set. Complete your FAFSA. You all will learn about FAFSA, and then that's one of the things that college aims. That's one of their goals, to help with FAFSA, and of course we do that as well. Complete your scholarship profile, prepare, etc. That tells you what you should be doing in the fall, in the winter, in the spring, etc. So that's what you should be doing as a senior. But there's also a link and of course, like we said, you all are almost seniors. So that's why we showed you that. The link will be on this page for you to click on. As far as SAT and ACT waivers, Okay, there are two things. You'll hear about this again. So next year, I'm going to try to be a little bit more clear because it confused us this year. SAT waivers, you no longer have to come to the counseling office about. You request those directly from College Board because they don't send us SAT waivers. So for if you take College Board or SAT during the day and the cab is paying for it, you don't need a waiver. But if you're trying to do it on your own and you want to see if you qualify for a waiver, you have to complete it. You have to actually contact College Board. We'll have the information out for you to do that. ACT waivers, will still be giving those out. Okay, so while you're in high school, College Board will give you two SAT waivers. ACT, the company, will give you two ACT waivers. So you get a total of 4 waivers if you qualify for free or reduced lunch to take the SAT and the ACT waiver. Again, that's the waivers. But if you're taking the test because the CAB pays for it for you, that's different. That's not using your waivers. A very important point to remember about waiver students is like money that's only good when you sign up for it. When you sign up for the SAT, please show up. That's because if you barring an emergency that you can prove and that they excuse, you can't use that waiver again. So let's just say if that's waiver number 2, you sign up, you sleep late and you don't go to take your SAT. They're not going to let you take it for free. You can always pay for it, but you're not going to be able to take it using a waiver. Okay, so a few other things here. Hope Scholarship. In case you have not logged into gafutures.org, again, I can't show you this without showing you somebody's actual Hope GPA. What I need you to do is to start logging in because you do have a Hope GPA. As we've been saying since your freshman year, after the first semester of your freshman year, you start building a Hope transcript. In order to qualify for the Hope Scholarship, it requires, let me zoom in some so you can see this. Hope Scholarship requirements include a 3.0 and rigor requirements for approximately 90% tuition. And as far as 100% scholarship, that's Zell Miller. You have to have at least a 3.7 GPA, 1,200 on the SAT score, or 25 ACT score. So that's in GA Futures. Let me just go to the website just in case you have not gone. All students, everybody's information is in Georgia Futures. If you're like, I don't know, I don't think I did it or whatever, you can go over here. You can create an account as a student. When you try to log in, it's probably going to tell you you already have an account. You can do, I forgot my username, I forgot my password, etc. It'll reset it for you, etc., etc. So you can do that to check on your Hope GPA. The other thing about the Hope Scholarship, your counselor will be meeting with you to talk about not only Hope GPA, whether or not you qualify for Hope, but you also, this is very important, students, this happens every year. So we're telling you now, we're going to let you know when we meet with you or in your senior year, but you can check now. If you log into GA Futures and you're unable to see your Hope GPA and it tells you to check with your school administrator or counselor, that's because you don't have a social security number on file. In order to see your Hope GPA and in order for the colleges to be able to know whether or not you qualify for Hope, you need to have a social security number on file. So we know some people, your parents may have opted out and that's fine, but you can't get Pell Grants without a social security card on file. So we'll let you know that like when we meet with you your senior year. So what happens if you don't give us the social security card? This happens to, unfortunately, it's happening a whole lot less, but every now and then, I don't think I got any last year, so they were really good about it, and I believe this class will be as well. So let's just say it's summertime, you're about to go to Albany State, you're about to move in, and then they say, you talk to the counselor, you qualify for Hope, but then they're like, I'm sorry, I can't see your Hope GPA. So it's July, and you're frantic because they can't see it and they're telling you you don't have financial aid, and you're calling the school, and Dr. Cox and everybody else is on vacation, and you have to wait until August and you have to figure that out. So that's why we make sure that we let you know. You have to sign saying that you know. It's just that important, you know. So we're giving you all of this right now. Again, I'm recording this so that we can, you know, you can go over it and review it. I know it's long, however, it's important. A few other things that I'm going to mention, and then I'll be done. Or let me see, going back over here. Okay, other programs that we'll talk to you about. Dual enrollment, of course, dual enrollment is the program that allows you to take high school and college classes at the same time because you're enrolled in two places, dual enrollment, enrolled in high school and college. If you're interested in dual enrollment for the spring, the deadline will be October 15, 2025. And I mean spring of your senior year. The deadline for the fall and the summer are gone. Please, it was March the 15th. It is almost May. Please, 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 students, hear what I'm saying. There are a few of you we know who are still working on a few dual enrollment things. We're aware of that. That's like 3 students. Everyone else, your classes have been paid for, their schedule. Please don't go to the college. I'm begging you, because students do this and it's just not good. Do not sign yourself up for dual enrollment during the summer without talking, because you have not talked to your counselor. The classes won't be paid for, and your parents are going to get a bill. They're very strict now. There was a time where if a student did that, I could go back a year later and pay for the class. If they're taking those classes in the summer, which the students will tell you when they come to us and they're like, I sent you my class, I'm like, no, you have to complete. You have to complete funding applications. They know what that is. You have to complete a Stone Mountain contract where you attach your classes to the contract. That's how I'm sure I'm paying for the correct classes. You have to do a lot of stuff to make sure your parents don't get a bill, because if you take that class and I'm on vacation and I haven't paid for that classes, you and your parent have to pay for that class. So, and they will not let me go back. So do not go to the school. Don't go in the summer and say, I'm going to Georgia Military, or Georgia Piedmont told me it wasn't too late. Yes, it is, because I'm on vacation. And they, you know, or whoever, or Georgia State, it is too late. We have deadlines for a reason. It takes time to make sure we're getting you in the correct classes. There are certain classes you cannot take. Certain things have to be paid for. It's a lot behind the scenes. And at the end of the day, we want you to take the classes, but those deadlines are always the deadlines for the dual enrollment for the year always come out in the fall. So these deadlines have been out since August. The deadline for, I'm just telling you when the spring will come out, but you will have that out there for you to go over. Okay. So make sure that you're watching that. The other thing is dual achievement. Dual achievement is another program for students who may decide, you know what, I'm not progressing in high school the way that I need to, and I think I'm too far off track to graduate, and I'm not interested in college ever or right away. I want to get my high school diploma, but I also want to get a trade while I'm doing that. Dual achievement might be that program for you, where you get an actual high school diploma and a trade. Okay, so, but that's based on, you need to talk to your counselor about that. We have flyers. I'm going to send you all of this stuff. I don't want to run out of time. And but it is an amazing program. This year I've had 2 students to graduate. They went there and actually found out they had finished their classes and they were high school graduates. Now they're on to their college trade part. So in other words, you'll be going to that school. The program is located somewhere else. And then the colleges that you'd attend would be either Atlanta Metro Tech, if you have transportation. If you don't, you could go to Georgia Piedmont. That's their partner school because they're close. So that's a lot. I know I'm giving you a lot, but that's why you'll have this video. Another thing that you will have access to is the Acceleration Academy. That deadline is ongoing. Some of you may, I'll be here for a few weeks in the summer if you're interested, or that's another program. Most of it is online. It is a DeKalb new program, and you do have to be a certain age in order to work with that program, be a part of that program, I should say. But most of it is online. But the only other part is you do have to go in person. I think it's like 12 hours a week, and you have to be able to get to McNair High School. That's the only location right now. It's in one building. It's not a part of McNair School. It's a separate school housed in a building at McNair. So you'll see students going and coming in that building, but they're from all over DeKalb. So that's something different, and that does allow you to catch up. Then, of course, I forgot. How could I forget Elizabeth Andrews, which is right around the corner from us? They are another option for some students to help them get back on track. For example, sometimes, as a student, you get to the point where you're like kind of walking in a circle, or you just can't get it together in this environment for whatever reason. So Elizabeth Andrews may be an option for you. And of course, there's also Flex Flex School. Now with Flex, let me make sure I said this correctly. DeKalb does not have a total. The Acceleration Academy is an online school for certain students, but again, it's partially online. You have to go to McNair for another part. Flex School may or may not be an option for people because it's not a full school. It's not like they offer all the classes that are at Stone Mountain. Each semester, they let us know what they have, so it may work for you one semester, it may not work for you the next semester. So it just depends. So that's the kind of thing that you talk to your counselor about. So Miss Drayton, am I missing any of the other programs? I know I'm talking really fast, but I was trying to remember any of the other ones in terms of makeup.
No, I think you covered all of them.
Okay.
That's all the ones that I can recall.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let me go back to, I think we're done that sheet. Um, let
Dr.
me,
Cost, I did put in the chat, or for anyone just interested in the dual achievement program, I did put the flyer in the chat.
thank you. I wanted to do that. So just in case you're interested in that, and I think I'll go ahead and put, let me go back in. I think that's one of the questions on here, just in case you, I'm not sharing the screen. For those people who are just kind of logging in, and just in case you did not sign in, please sign in on the junior conference form. But also, again, if you have any other questions, I know we said a lot, but if you have any other questions and there are some other things, that you want to make sure that you go over with us, make sure you do so you can come see one of us during the lunch ways. That's the best time, because the other times right now, like we said, starting Monday, not tomorrow, but starting Monday, we're going to pull like 30 of you in the comments. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday, we won't be doing it because we'll be with the with the seniors during their signing day, which is something you guys will have next year as well. So we'll be meeting with you those days, and we want to get this done. Don't wait for us to do your Naviance task. Get that stuff done now. Again, if you think that you're off track, you're off track, you don't know what you want to do. Start doing those Naviance tasks. Start talking to us, because students, we know this is a scary time. Well, I don't want to say, well, I do want to say that. This can be a scary time. This really can be. And I've said this a few times and I'll say it again. I always like to say this to you guys because it's true. It is so important that you take advantage of this right now. Take advantage of us. We not only get, even if we do care, your teachers care. Teachers and administrators, people working in schools are probably some of the most loving people in the world. But even if we didn't care about you, and we do, we get paid to work with you. And this, as I say all the time, all the adults in the room can say amen or whatever, or say that or whatever. This is the last time in your life, I can promise you this, that this number of adults are going to work for you for free. I'm not saying that people are going to not help you along the way, but I'm saying in this fashion, even in college, it's a little bit different. Like, you don't have a quote school counselor. We're not guidance counselors anymore. We're school counselors. So even that you don't have a school counselor, you have an advisor, but that advisor is not calling you to make sure you have your social security number, you're this, you're this. It's a whole lot more independent. There are things that you're supposed to be able to do so on your own. So let us guide you so that when you feel what I'm about to say, this is a feeling, there's a feeling that a lot of us feel. I still ask the people in the buildings, the teachers and everybody, the counselors. And I was like, do you remember that feeling you felt not during graduation? Like graduation, you're like, oh, I can't wait to get out of here. You're happy, you're excited. Of course, that's one thing. But then there comes this other time where at some point during the year, it hits you. I'm not going to be here next year. Oh my God. I don't, what am I going to do? That's normal to have that feeling. But once you get past that feeling, you can move on if you have a plan, if you have several plans. That's what we're doing. We're planning now while you're in your junior year. Even if you're like, I haven't done what I needed to do, I don't know. You need to really come see us, seriously. Or, you're interested in those programs. You know how you feel about you. Talk to your parents. We'll do that, whatever it is that we need to do, because we just want to make sure you're on track. Okay, so I've said a lot. I know I said a lot. I want to just make sure that I went over all of these papers I had up here. I did that, that, am I sharing my screen? Am I sharing the screen?
No.
Okay. All right. I think that's everything that I kind of wanted to go over. So at this point, I'll stop talking and ask the students if you all have any questions or anything you want to ask me, Miss Drayton, anything that you think might benefit the group. Okay, so if there's not, what we're going to do is we're going to I'm going to stop recording, drop this in the chat, and